Now it's obvious that every firm has now shifted to the no time limit funding model. But how did we get here? And with the no time limit funding model, does my approach to passing the evaluation is going to be changed? And what are my top 3 prop firms for the no time limit funding model? Let's find out. Back in the days, FTMO was the only firm who started offering two-phase evaluation, where you first had to complete phase 1 of the challenge in the given time, and then after that you had to complete phase 2 of the challenge, and then you used to get the funded account. But after FTMO, they revolutionized the whole prop firm industry. Every single firm, they started adopting that same funding model, which then became the industry standard. When these new prop firms they came out, they only started offering with a little bit of change. Some of the firms, they allowed you to pass the evaluation in 35 days instead of 30, and they reduced the profit target in the phase 1 from 10% to 8%. That was the only change we got from the firms, the funded trader program, my Forex Funds, funding talent through Forex Fund. But then we saw last year that some of the firms, they started offering one-step challenge, and in that one-step challenge they removed the time restriction. So meaning you did not have any time limit to complete the single phase evaluation, and you were getting quite a lot lower drawdown as compared to the two-phase evaluation. Every firm that was offering one-step challenge, because it was a single phase, so they were only offering 6% drawdown overall or 5% overall drawdown with 3 or 4% daily drawdown. But we definitely needed a big change that was going to change the prop firm industry for the better. So last year, my funded FX, they came with literally an insane change no one was expecting, and they started offering no time limit in the two-phase evaluation model. So my funded FX was the one that changed the prop firm industry standard model to literally a new level. They made it now very easy for the traders who were failing the challenges, because they were always under pressure that they had to complete the challenge in the given time, like in 30 days or in 60 days. But now there is no time limit at all. So whether you're on your phase 1 where you have to meet 8% or 10% profit target objective, or you are on your phase 2, there is absolutely no time limit that you are required to meet the profit target objective within that 30-35 calendar days time period. As now all the firms, the funded trader program, my Forex Funds, FTMO, True Forex Fund, every single firm, they have shifted to the no time limit funding model. The question is, what are my top 3 firms and what are the benefits that you can get if you go with these firms? So let's find out. Now at number 3 we have Bespoke Funding. Right now I am doing their funding challenge. I will make a proper video once I complete the challenge, or even I fail the challenge. I will show you that how my progress went. Did I complete the challenge? Did I pass the challenge with Bespoke Funding program or not? Now they are offering 2 different models for the 2-step evaluation and 1 model for the 1-step evaluation. All these 3 models have no time limit at all. Their classic challenge, let's just say that you want to go with $100,000 account, the price is $529, but the leverage that you're gonna get in classic challenge is 1:60. And in their classic challenge funding model, there is no time limit. As I said, profit target for phase 1 is 8%, profit target for phase 2 is 5%. The maximum drawdown that you get is 10%. That's absolute overall drawdown. And the daily loss limit, which is balance based, it is 5%, and profit split is going to be 80%. You are allowed to hold your trade over the weekend if you go with the classic challenge. Now the main difference between their classic challenge and the rapid challenge, even though they both have same no time limit funding model, the only difference we can say is the leverage and the overall drawdown limit. So their rapid challenge, which is also called Trader's Choice, that has 1:100 leverage, almost half more than the classic challenge, but it has overall drawdown of 8%. Profit target for phase 1 and phase 2 are the same. Daily drawdown is the same. Profit split is the same. You can hold your trade over the weekend as well. Minimum trading days, as the name suggests, it's rapid challenge, meaning that you can simply just complete phase 1 in 1 day, phase 2 in 1 day, and can move on to the funded account in the same day. That's the reason they have no minimum trading days requirement, but they have 3 minimum trading days requirement in the classic challenge. Now Bespoke Funding program, they are also offering 1-step challenge, but we will talk about that in some other video. Coming at number 2 is the firm that I am currently funded with. I have a $500,000 funded account with the funded trader program, and I have been literally trading that account for more than a year now. and their standard challenge and royal challenge, they both are now no time limit funding model. But their rapid challenge, it still has time limit in both the phases, in phase 1 and phase 2. But their standard challenge model, where you can get literally up to $400,000 funded account. Same case with bespoke funding, you can get $400,000 funded account in classic challenge, and that's the same case with the funded trader program. Now in here you get two extra options as well, swing account and regular account. My account is right now swing, because in swing model of the standard challenge model, you can hold your trade over the weekend, plus you're also allowed to trade during the news event. So that's the reason I went with the swing trading, because sometimes I also trade the news event depending on the market structure as well. But looking at their standard challenge model, no time limit in phase 1, no time limit in phase 2, but you have to minimum trade for 3 days. Challenge leverage is 1:60. The profit target is 10%, which is 2% higher than bespoke funding, but you can also choose overall 12% drawdown. That's the reason I am putting them at number 2. If you just take the add-on during the checkout process, then instead of 10% overall drawdown, you can get 12% overall drawdown. And the normal daily drawdown is 5%, but it can also be increased to 6% during the checkout process if you take the add-on option. The drawdown type, the daily drawdown type, is equity and balance based. That's something that I would say I really don't like. But if you are going to pass the challenges and you want to get a funded account, I would say having an equity based daily drawdown can be something helpful, because that way you will not be over risking, because you will have a fear that you may end up losing this challenge just because their daily drawdown is equity based. You are allowed to hold your trade over the weekend in swing model. In regular model, you are not allowed to hold over the weekend. And if you take the regular model, the leverage is 1:200 instead of 1:60. Expert advisors, they are not allowed in standard challenge, but they are allowed in royal challenge. As we can see, you are allowed to use expert advisor in the royal challenge. The maximum account in royal challenge, it is also $400,000 you can get. The minimum trading days requirement is 5. The challenge leverage is 1:200, which is very, very good. Profit target, it is 8% for phase 1 and 5% for phase 2. Maximum drawdown limit, it is 10%, and you do not get any option to increase that to 12% during the checkout process if you take the royal challenge. The daily drawdown limit is 5%, and the profit split, it is going to be 80% in both the models, royal challenge and standard challenge model. Now they also have one-step challenge model, but again I will make a separate video on their one-step challenge model as well. Now the firm that I have chosen for my first position for the no time limit funding model is the one who introduced the no time limit in the two-phase evaluation model. My funded FX, you can manage up to $600,000 with my funded FX, and their Trustpilot rating is also very good. Looking at their funding models, they have two-step normal model, two-step pro model, and one-step model. Now in their two-step normal model, the profit target is 8%. During the phase 1 of the evaluation, you get no time limit restriction. Minimum trading days requirement is 1. Maximum initial account balance loss, which is overall drawdown, it is 8% if you go with the normal two-step funding model, and the daily drawdown is 5%. Phase 2 target is 5%, and once you get the funded account, first profit split is after 14 days, and you get 80% of the profit share. Now their two-step pro model, the difference in their two-step pro model and the two-step normal model is that in their pro model, you get 2% extra overall drawdown, which is 10%. And they very recently introduced this two-step pro model where they increased the overall drawdown to 10%. And that's the reason it says new. Before we had no time limit funding models, I used to trade with asymmetric compounding method to pass the funding challenges, which I would say was quite risky, but it worked very well for me by having average winning percentage of 50%, meaning all the challenges that I took, I approximately completed the challenges and got the funded account 50% of the time. Now in that asymmetric risk management system, what I used to do, as the profit target objective was either 8% or 10%, depending on that, I used to risk 1% in my first trade, and I was always targeting 2.5 rewards from every single trade. Now I recommended using that when you have good trading strategy, you have good trading knowledge, and you know how you need to control your emotions, you know when to trade, when not to trade. So I recommended that risk 1% on your first trade, target 2.5%. If your first trade is profitable, then use the 2.5% profits that you made from your first trade, use that as a risk on your second trade, and again target 2.5 rewards from your second trade. So overall, if you have 2 consecutive wins, that means you have completed the phase 1 of the evaluation. The only reason I used to follow this asymmetric compounding method is because we had 30 or 35 days limit to complete the phase 1 of the evaluation. But when I was trading on my phase 2, I never risked more than 1% during the challenge. Now I am going to use that same method, or I would say I'm already using that same method that I used to follow on phase 2 of the evaluation, which was for every single trade, do not exceed more than 1% risk. So that means the challenge that I am currently doing with bespoke funding, I'm only risking 1% maximum on every trade that I am taking, and I am again targeting at least 2.5 rewards because my strategy, it gives me 2.5 rewards. So I recommend, if you are gonna now take the challenges with these firms, as now they have no time limits in their funding model, so you do not need to risk more than 1% when you will be doing the challenges. You can take 2 months, you can take 3 months, you can take 4 months to complete the challenge and get the funded account. There is no hurry now because you do not have any 30 or 35 days limit to make 8% or 10% profit. And once you get the funded account, I always recommend, and I always do that as well, do not exceed 0.5% risk on every trade that you will be doing on the funded account, because you have to keep that funded account for as long as you can. So I hope that you guys got some value out of this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section, what do you think about the no time limit prop firms? What do you think that how the prop firm industry is gonna be changed after this no time limit option? And also, if you haven't followed me on my Instagram yet, make sure to follow from the link in description. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.